Good morning. Welcome to another daily reading. This is Genesis 35 and Mark 7. I read from the Institute for Scripture Research, the ISR, because it takes a direct translation from Hebrew to English, Greek to English, and Aramaic to English. Yah is the Elohim of the heavens and the earth, the first and the last and the only, and he's an extremely jealous El. He's so jealous that he doesn't even want the names of idols or mighty ones to come to our lips. And Yah is short for YahWeh, YahWeh, Yod-He, Vav-He, Yahuwah. It's like saying Dan, Daniel, Daniel with an E. What is the difference and does matter is when people say that Phil, Bob, Sam, and Aaron are the same name, when no, they're not. And no one in their right mind would ever believe that, and only a fool would believe that a hammer can force its creator to do anything, and there was no letter J in the Hebrew, Greek, or Aramaic text because the letter J is about 600 years old. Well, the son of Elohim, Yahushua, the Messiah, sweat blood and was brutally murdered on a stake and resurrected on the third day for the sins of all of humanity. How do you know it's for all of humanity? Because we're supposed to go to all the nations and teach everybody, and the word is going to be taught to the entire world before the end comes. That's how you know he died for everybody. Or else why would you have to go out and teach the whole world if only a select few? That doesn't make any sense. That is an oxymoron, to be honest. Actually, no, I think I used that word out of context. Anyways. A direct translation from Hebrew to English, Yeshua or Yahoshua is Joshua, not Jesus, Joshua. Jesus is Greek for Hail Zeus. It has nothing to do with the Messiah. Christ is the Greek idol Christos. They used it for every single one of their deity names. That's why they called it BC, because it was before their idol that they used for all their idols. It's idol worship. It has nothing to do with the Messiah. It's a mockery and a joke. And the son of Elohim's name, Yahshua, the name of the Father is in the name of the Son. That's how you know it's Yahshua, or Yahoshua, means Yah is salvation. Yah will save his people from their sins. Again, Jesus is Greek for Hail Zeus, not even Hebrew. The Messiah came from the 12 Hebrew tribes of Israel, strictly from the one that kept the Hebrew, Yehuda. So, just in case you're curious, the word tells you what language it is. I mean, you can change it if you want, but that's on you. I'm going to stick with direct translations. I don't want to go through, 1,000 different languages just to get to English, just so I can have the right English. Get out of here. That's a joke. Get behind me, Satan. If you're offended by that, then maybe you should check out your own belief, because I don't think you're a believer. Genesis 35. And Elohim said to Jacob, Yaqob with a line underneath of it, which is James. Arise, go up to Beth-El. Beth is B-E with a half a check mark. Y-T-H-L is E with a half a check mark L. And dwell there, and make a slaughter place there to El, who appeared to you when you fled from the face of Esau, E with a half a check mark, S-A-W, your brother. And Jacob said to his household and to all who are with him, put away the foreign mighty ones that are among you, and cleanse yourselves, and change your garments. So Jacob's household was full of idols because of other people that worshipped idols. Even though the many miracles that have been done, I mean, they're not like hardcore miracles like what YahWeh did, but I mean, it's not that Jacob did any of those miracles. YahWeh just did, I guess you could say, they're not lesser, right? Like they're equal, but at the same time they're lesser in comparison to like spreading the sea and opening up the earth and swallowing people and having fire come down from the heaven. That Yah just made sure that Jacob was blessed in everything he did. And let us arise and go up to Beth-El, and let me make there a slaughter place to El, who answered me in the day of my distress, and has been with me in the way which I have gone. So they gave Jacob all the foreign mighty ones which were in their hands, and all their earrings which were in their ears, and Jacob hid them under the terebinth tree which was near Shechem, S-H-E-K with a line underneath of it, E-M. I would have destroyed them. If your household wants to worship idols, get out. You ain't my household no more. Scoot. You know who the creator is. Why are you worshiping this garbage? Also, you're not supposed to mark your body. That includes putting earrings in, tattoos, all that kind of stuff. Nose piercings, anything like that. You're marking your body. Don't do it. And they departed, and the fear of Elohim was upon the cities that were all around them, and they did not pursue the sons of Jacob. And Jacob came to Luz, Luz, that is Beth El. So Luz, that is Beth El, which is in the land of Canaan, Kena', he and all the people who were with him. And he built there a slaughter place and called the name El Beth El. So El is just E with a half a check mark, capitalized E, by the way. Every Beth or El Beth El, every beginning letter there is a capital letter. It's a place, obviously, and then Beth El is the same that I just described. It's just that L in the very beginning, E with no half a check mark, L, and then the last one is E with the half a check mark, L. But Beth El Beth El. Because there Elohim appeared to him when he fled from the face of his brother. Whoopsie daisies. Oh yeah, I'm on that. Okay. And Deborah, D-E-B with a line underneath of it, O-R. That's what I thought. And Deborah, D-E-B with a line underneath of it, O-R-A-H. Ribka's nurse, R-I-B with a line underneath of it, Q-A-H. Ribka's nurse died, and she was buried below Beth El under the terebinth tree, so the name of it was called Allon Bakuth. Bakuth? Allon is A-L-L-O-N. Bakuth is B-A-K with the line underneath of it, U-T-H. And Elohim appeared to Jacob again when he came from Padan Aram, P-A-D-D-A-N. Aram is A-R-A-M, and blessed him. And Elohim said to him, your name is Jacob. Your name is no longer called Jacob, but Yisrael. Y-I-S-R-A', E with a half a check mark, L is your name. So he called his name Yisrael. The Messiah called him Yisrael. And he was a Hebrew, which is proof that the 12 tribes, they came from a Hebrew, so they're all Hebrew. And the word even says that, the 12 tribes of Hebrew Israel. And Elohim said to him, I am El Shaddai. El and then Shaddai is S-H-A-D-D-A-I. There's a capital S, and then L is E with a half a check mark, L. El Shaddai. Be fruitful and increase. A nation and a company of nations shall be from you, and sovereigns come from your body. And the land which I gave Abraham, A-B with a line underneath of it, R-A-H-A-M, another Hebrew, by the way, and Yitzhak, Y-I-T-S-H with a dot, A-Q, another Hebrew, I give to you, and to your seed after you I give this land. And Elohim went up from there in the place where he had spoken with him, and Jacob set up a standing column in the place where he had spoken with him, so where Yahushua had spoken with him, a monument of stone. And he poured a drink offering on it, and he poured oil on it. And Jacob called the name of the place where Elohim spoke with him Beth El. Oh, maybe he's not talking about Yahshua Messiah. Maybe he's talking about Yah this time. Up a little further, he's talking about Yahushua. So he called his name Yisrael, it's Yahushua. And Jacob called the name of the place where Elohim spoke with him Beth El. Then they set out from Beth El, and it came to be, when there was but a little distance to go, to Ephrath, E-P-H-R-A-T-H, and Rahel, R-A-H with a dot, E with a half a check mark, L, began to give birth, and had great difficulty giving birth. Can blame Hawa for that. But then again, if they didn't make that mistake, we wouldn't have been able to make ours. Or the next generation and the next generation, giving the opportunity to have the entire world get the opportunity for salvation. And it came to be, as she was having great difficulty giving birth, that the midwife said to her, do not fear, for it is another son for you. And it came to be, as her life was going out, for she died, that she called his name Ben-Oni, B-E-N dash capital Oni, but his father called him Binyamin, Binyamin. So Rahel died and was buried on the way to Ephrath, that is Bethlehem. Beth, and then Lehem is Leh with a dot em, 2 words. And Jacob set a standing column on her burial place, which is the monument of Rahel's burial place to this day. And a standing column could be a single rock. And Yisrael set out and pitched his tent beyond the tower of Eder, E with a half a check mark, D with a line underneath of it, ER. And it came to be when Yisrael dwelt in that land that Reuben, R-E apostrophe U-B with a line underneath of it, E with a half a check mark, N, went and lay with Bilhah, B-I-L-H-A-H, his father's concubine. And Yisrael heard about it. Now the sons of Jacob were 12. Interesting enough, there's 12 tribes. And they all come from a Hebrew, so they're all Hebrew. The sons of Leah, L-E with a half a check mark, apostrophe A-H, with Reuben, Jacob's firstborn, and Shimon, S-H-I-M apostrophe O-N, and Levi, L-E with a half a check mark, W-I, which is Levi, and Yehuda, Y-E-H-U-D with a line underneath of it, A-H, which is Jude, and Yissaskar, Y-I-S-S-A-S-K with a line underneath of it, A-R, and Zebulun, Z-E-B with a line underneath of it, U-L-U-N. The sons of Rahel were Yosef, Y-O-S-E with a half a check mark, P-H, which is Joseph, and Benjamin, which is Benjamin. The sons of Bilhah, Rahel's female servant, were Dan, D-A-N, and Naphtali, N-A-P-H-T-A-L-I. And the sons of Zilpah, Z-I-L-P-A-H, Leah's female servant, were Gad, G-A-D with a line underneath of it, and Asher, A-S-H-E with a half a check mark, R. The reason why he was named God was because of her fortune. He is the idol of fortune. Literally. It was said in the word that he was called God because of her fortune, because if you look up God, he is the idol of fortune. Spelled 6 different ways if you include the lowercase g. It's in the description. Go ahead, check it out. And then research it for yourself. These were the sons of Jacob who were born to him in Padan Aram, and Jacob came to his father Yitzchak at Mamre, M-A-M-R-E with a half a check mark, or Quiriath Arba, Q-I-R-Y-A-T-H. Arba is A-R-B-A, that is Hebron, H with a dot, E-B with a line underneath of it, R-O-N, where Abraham and Yitzchak had sojourned, and the days of Yitzchak were 180 years. So Yitzchak breathed his last and died, and was gathered to his people, aged and satisfied in days, and his sons Esau and Jacob buried him. Hallelujah. Mark 7. Excuse me. And the Pharisees and some of the scribes assembled to him, Yahushua Messiah, him, having come from Jerusalem, Y-E-R-U-S-H-A-L-A-Y-I-M, which is Jerusalem, and seen some of his taught ones eat bread with defiled, that is, with unwashed hands, they found fault. That's a law created by the Pharisees. I'm just going to point that out. Unwashed hands defiles your body. It brings demons into your body. I'm putting quotations because that's what the Pharisees believed. That's what they forced upon the people. And so many laws just like it. By the way, they didn't follow these laws themselves. These are the Torah that was being abolished. These non-Yah laws. For the Pharisees and all the Yehudim, Y-E-H-U-D with a line underneath of it, I-M, do not eat unless they wash their hands thoroughly, holding fast the tradition of the elders. Not Yah's Torah, the tradition of the elders. And coming, fancy English, coming from the marketplace, they do not eat unless they wash. I mean, sure, that kind of makes sense, but that's that doesn't bring demons into your body. Like, I would do the same thing. If I went to the marketplace, I would more than likely wash my hands because I know how disgusting it is, but it doesn't bring demons into your body if you don't. Okay? It is not a tradition that you have to follow. Sure, it's good hygiene, but you don't have to do that. It does not bring demons into your body. That is a lie. And there are many other traditions, fancying as traditions, which they have received and hold fast: the washing of cups and utensils and copper vessels and couches. Couches? Yeah. I mean, I guess so. If it's like leather or something, I could see you washing it. But if it was like fur or something like that, I can't foresee you hosing down a fur couch or something like that. It's like me like hosing down my friend's couch and just being like, don't worry about it, it's clean now. Yeah, it's probably going to get moldy in like a week too. Then the Pharisees and scribes asked him, why do your taught ones not walk according to the tradition of the elders, but eat bread with unwashed hands? And he answering said to them, did Yeshayah, Yeshayahu, which is Isaiah, prophesy concerning you hypocrites, as it has been written, this people respect me with their lips, but their heart is far from me. Yeah, if you love Yah, you will do what he commands. All the people in the Bible that lived by faith did what they were commanded because of their belief. Key words, they did what they were commanded because of their belief. Faith without works is dead. But you are not saved by works alone. It is a two-way street. And in vain do they worship me, teaching as teachings the commands of men, forsaking the command of Elohim. You hold fast the tradition of men. And he said to them, well, do you set aside the command of Elohim in order to guard your tradition? For Moshe, Mosheh, said, respect your father and your mother, and he who curses father or mother, let him be put to death. Just for cursing your father or your mother, you were put to death. And they're like, oh, no. If you just say that, I've fulfilled my duties to you, then it's all gone. I don't have to respect them at all. That was a tradition by the Pharisees and the scribes. It was a joke. But you say, if a man says to his father or mother, whatever profit you might have received from me is korban, Qorban, that is a gift. So whatever profit you receive from your children is a gift? You no longer let him do any matter at all for his father or his mother, nullifying the word of Elohim through your tradition, which you have handed down, and many such traditions you do. And calling the crowd to him, he said to them, hear me, everyone, and understand. There is no matter that enters a man from outside which is able to defile him, but it is what comes out of him that defiles the man. Again, this is talking about food. And it's not talking about unclean food. It's talking about washing your hands and eating while you're washing your hands beforehand. And he's like, no, it has nothing to do with making unclean foods clean, okay? You read the Matthew part. It makes a lot more sense. This is just touching down on the fact that it was a tradition of men. If anyone has ears to hear, let him hear. And when he went from the crowd into a house, his taught ones asked him concerning the parable. And he said to them, are you also without understanding? Do you not perceive that whatever enters a man from outside is unable to defile him? Because it does not enter his heart but his stomach, and is eliminated, thus purging all the foods? And he said, what comes out of a man, that defiles a man. So whatever comes out of your mouth, whatever you speak, that defiles you. But not washing your hands before you eat does not defile you. For from within, out of the heart of men, proceed evil reasonings, adulteries, whorings, murders, thefts, greedy desires, wickednesses, deceit, indecency, an evil eye, blasphemy, pride, foolishness. All these wicked matters come from within and defile a man. And rising up from there, he went to the borders of Sor, Tsor, and Sidon, Tsid, with the line underneath of it, On. And entering into a house, he wished no one to know it, but it was impossible to be hidden, for a woman whose young daughter had an unclean spirit heard about him, and she came and fell at his feet. Now the woman was a Greek, a Syro-Phoenician. I butchered that, but Syro-Phoenician by birth. And she kept asking him to cast the demon out of her daughter. And Yahushua said to her, let the children be satisfied first, for it is not good to take the children's bread and throw it to the little dogs. But she answering said to him, yes, master, for even the little dogs under the table eat from the children's crumbs. In other words, the word is for the entire world. And he said to her, because of this word, go, the demon has gone out of your daughter. And having come into her house, she found the demon gone out, and her daughter lying on the bed. And again, going out from the borders of Sor and Sidon, he came to the Sea of Galil, Galil, through the midst of the borders of Decapolis, Dekapolis, and they brought to him one who was deaf and spoke with difficulty, and they begged him to lay his hands upon him. And taking him away from the crowd, he put his fingers in the ears, and having spit, he touched his tongue. And looking up to the heaven, he sighed and said to him, Ephatha, Ephphatha, that is, be opened. And immediately his ears were opened, and the binding of his tongue were loosed, and he was speaking plainly. And he ordered them that they should say it to no one, but the more he ordered them, the more they published it. So the more they spoke about it. And they were immeasurably astonished, saying, he has done all well. He makes even the deaf hear and the dumb speak. Hallelujah. That was a beautiful daily reading. Again, so the children that Yahushua was talking about was the 12 tribes of Israel, and her being not part of those 12 tribes was the little dogs. The little dogs are the rest of the world. And Yahushua agreed that even the little dogs should get the crumbs from the table, aka the word of Yah, the belief, the grafting in. There's this guy, Red Man, posting on my stuff, being a troll. I'm going to leave him there so that people can see it for themselves. But it's in my last few videos. He is just a troll. He worships Baal God and hails Zeus Christos, and he claims that I am a freak for spreading that truth, spreading the word to all the nations. It's a mockery. It's just funny. It's comedy in my life, basically. It's a shame as well that he believes that. I say he because I know exactly who it is. I've said it in my last video. We should pray for him. We should continue to pray for all non-believers so that they come to the truth. We want people to come to the truth. Yahshua Messiah, YahWeh wants people to come to the truth. So yeah, pray for people who are non-believers to come to the truth. Share the truth. Don't shove it down their throat. There's a difference. And there's some people who think that even if you say it once that you're shoving it down their throat. Those are scoffers. Just leave them alone. Let the blind lead the blind, for they'll both fall into a pit. Teach the word to everyone, and anyone who isn't willing to listen, oh well, move along. There's so many people on earth, just move along. I don't care if it's your family or not. The majority of my family are basically Satanists. basically. I only say that because if you worship idols, you're a Satanist. So with that in mind, it's a pretty wide area. And then the other one's a greasy grace, and the other side of it is just a hardcore works only. Like they're like, yeah, no, we have to read. They literally have to read from the Babylonian version of the Torah in order to make sure that they only believe in the Torah and not the Messiah. But they don't even keep the word anyways. Their children know how to say, oh my God, before they even know who Yah is. And please, Yah, forgive me for even saying these idols' names and having them come to my mind and my mouth. In the mighty name of Yahushua Messiah. I hope you guys enjoy your days, and I pray that YahWeh blesses you and keeps you all safe and convicts your hearts and your spirits. And blesses the world with wisdom and knowledge and understanding and strength and endurance and compassion and humility and love and mercy and faithfulness and fruitfulness and all the fruits of the Spirit and all the armor. We're going to need it. In the mighty name of Yahushua Messiah. Hallelujah. Have a good day.